You have felt this and not noticed it. A number on a screen counting down. 2 left in stock. Offer ends tonight. 3 people are looking at this right now. And something in you moves before you have decided anything. A small pressure behind the ribs that was not there 4 seconds ago. That pressure is not information. It is a switch, and someone else is holding it. South Africa, 1888. The problem is not that diamonds are hard to find. The problem is that they have just been found in enormous quantity. New fields are producing stones faster than anyone can sell them, and every mine owner in the region understands the arithmetic. If all of this reaches the market, the price collapses, and nobody makes anything. Cecil Rhodes solves it by buying the competition. He consolidates the mines into a single company, De Beers Consolidated Mines, and then he does the thing that actually matters. He does not sell the diamonds, he releases them. A controlled quantity, through a controlled channel, at a controlled pace. The stones that are not released go into vaults and stay there. The world sees a trickle and concludes there is only a trickle. For most of the next century that system holds, and diamonds keep the price of something almost impossible to obtain, while sitting in warehouses by the ton, but supply control alone was only half of it. In the 1930s, diamond sales were weak, and the company went to an American advertising agency with a question that had nothing to do with mining. How do you make people believe a stone is necessary? The answer arrived in 1947. A copywriter named Francis Garrity wrote 4 words. A diamond is forever. Not a diamond is beautiful, forever. A stone you cannot resell without losing most of your money was recast as the one purchase you are never supposed to sell. Permanence became the product. The lack of a resale market became proof of devotion instead of proof of a bad deal. And a rule appeared alongside it, that a man should spend a month's salary on the ring. Later 2. In some markets, 3. Nobody inherited that rule. It was written by an ad agency, and within a generation people were describing it as tradition. That is the full move. Restrict the supply, then attach the scarce thing to something a person cannot bear to be seen failing at. Diamonds are not, geologically, especially rare. They were made rare, and then made necessary. Now watch the same 2 steps run on you every day. Only 3 left in stock. Nobody has verified that number. It is a field in a database, and someone said it. Offer ends in 04:59:58. Refresh the page. It is 04:59:58 again. Limited drop. The limit was chosen. Someone in a meeting picked how many to make specifically so that there would not be enough. Applications close Friday. They do not close Friday. And here is the mechanism underneath all of it. Ordinarily, when you consider buying something, you run a comparison, what it costs against what it's worth to you. That comparison takes a moment, and it is the only defense you have. Scarcity does not argue with the comparison. It removes the time to make it. What replaces it is a much older and much faster question. Am I about to lose something? Losing feels worse than gaining feels good. That asymmetry is one of the most robust findings in the field, and it is not a flaw you can train out of yourself. It is standard equipment. So the countdown is not trying to convince you the thing is worth the money. It is trying to make sure you never get around to asking. So how do you take it back? First, say the deadline out loud. Not think it, say it. They want me to decide in the next 10 minutes. Naming it converts an atmosphere into a claim, and a claim can be examined. Almost nothing survives being stated plainly. I am buying this because a timer is running, sounds exactly as thin as it is. Second, ask whether the scarcity is natural or authored. Some scarcity is real. There are genuinely 2 seats on that flight. A craftsman genuinely can only make 40 of something a year. Authored scarcity has a tell. The limit is round, and it is always the same. Always 3 left. Always ends at midnight. Always 20 spots. Real constraints are lumpy and specific. Manufactured ones are tidy, because a person chose them. Third, decide your number before you look at the timer. This connects directly to the anchoring video. If you know what a thing is worth to you before you see the pressure has nothing to attach to. If you don't, the timer will set your number for you. Write it down beforehand where the decision matters. Sounds excessive, costs nothing, works. Fourth, the 24-hour rule. For anything above a threshold you set for yourself, wait a day. You will lose a small number of genuinely good deals doing this. That is the price, and it is a real one. What you get back is every purchase you would have made under manufactured pressure. and that is a far larger number. If an offer cannot survive 24 hours, that is information about the offer, not about your decisiveness. Fifth, notice when you are the one doing it. If you sell anything, you have run this. A deadline that could have been extended. A limited number that was arbitrary. Everybody in commerce touches this. The line is not whether you use urgency. It's whether the urgency is true. Real deadlines are worth stating clearly. Invented ones buy you one sale and cost you the ability to be believed the next time. The law. Scarcity does not change what a thing is worth. It changes whether you stop to ask. The field test. 1 week. Every time you see a countdown, a stock counter, or a closing date this week, do one thing before anything else. Say the number out loud, and then check it. Refresh the page. Come back in an hour. Look at the same product somewhere else. Watch 2 things. 1. How many of those timers reset? A large share of them. Once you have watched a countdown restart itself, you will never look at one the same way again. 2. How the pressure drains out of your body the moment the number is spoken. Not reasoned away, spoken. The mechanism runs underneath language, and saying it out loud drags it up where you can see it. Do it for a week and the countdown stops being a feeling and starts being a design decision you can see someone making. The warning. Once you can see this, you will see it everywhere, and there is a failure mode on the other side, deciding that all urgency is a lie and all limits are invented. They are not. Some doors do close. Some opportunities are genuinely one time. The person who trained himself to never feel urgency does not become free of manipulation. He becomes someone who misses things and calls it wisdom. And the deeper cost of manufactured scarcity is not the money. It is what it does to a person's sense of time. Live long enough inside artificial deadlines, and you lose the ability to tell which of your own decisions were yours. You end up with a life full of things you were rushed into and cannot remember choosing. The stone was always common. The forever was written by a copywriter. Decide the price before you see the clock. The full scarcity breakdown, and the 17 other moves people run on you without saying a word, is in the Dark Playbook. First chapter is free, link below. Next one. How a man with no formal power turned information into the only currency in the room.